Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Panda Phil, and welcome to Toon Talk Live, where we talk about all things Toony and Toontastic. And yes, I'm on the boat in Donald's dock.
I'm the captain now.
We have entered into 2026 after the big announcements that followed from Toonfest 2025. And so we've got to wonder what is in store for us this year. As a Toontown Rewritten partner and a massive fan of Toontown in general, I wanted to share my thoughts on what I think we could see in Toontown Rewritten this year. Before we go any further, let me be clear on one thing. Although I am a Toontown Rewritten partner, I don't know anything for sure, so please do not think I'm giving any big reveals. The secrets of Toontown Rewritten's developments are kept more secret than the Krabby Patty formula itself. Anyway, let's continue. From cog changes to clear coast updates, here are my thoughts about what we could see in 2026 on Toontown Rewritten. The first one to bring up is the suit task lines. In late 2025, we were given the opportunity to do playtests for some of the suit task lines so that it could be updated and much more engaging. The playtest happened, we've had feedback given, and so the team are working on it. So I expect that this is probably the most likely thing to be updated this year on Toontown Written, where new Toons can come to experience these new task lines following their big update. Toontown Remastered, which was first announced in 2023's Toonfest, is a project to overhaul the visuals and music for Toontown Written. So far, we have seen updates to Donald's Dreamland and the Berg Playground, which I prefer to call the Brr Playground, but there's a whole debate on that. And so we've seen their big updates, which made small key changes to the looks on each playground, and they made a massive difference. The fact we are working backwards in the playgrounds makes me think that the next playground we should expect to see getting an update, and hopefully this year, is Minnie's Melodyland. Like the Berg, well, the Brr, you decide in the comments how it's meant to be pronounced. I think it'll be great to see some interactive elements introduced to it, whether that is music played when you step on specific instruments, or follow even a similar style to Corporate Clash, where you can jump really high on the different drums that are around the playgrounds. I would suggest Chippendale's Acorn Acres are on the cards for an update, as that is pretty much a blank canvas. However, my view is that it's probably going to be one of the last ones to receive an update out of all the playgrounds that we have. In addition, I do wonder whether we're going to see the cogs receiving a bit of a touch-up this year as well. But if I had to choose between the cogs and Minnie's Melodylands getting a remastered design, I'd go for the playground based on the current works which have happened so far. Before I talk about my thoughts on Clear Coast, I want to throw out a few wildcards that have come to mind. The first is that the partner program opens for applications. The last time it was open was when I first applied, and that was quite a long time ago. I think it would be great in the preparations towards Clear Coast Playground's opening and everything that comes with it, that the partner program reopens, that content creators and community groups can apply to be a partner for Toontown Rewritten. This is a wild card as it's completely speculation, and there's not a whole lot of evidence to go with it, but hey, one can hope. My other wildcard I can't claim as my own, but I did find it really compelling, and it's one that I found on Reddit, and it would be so awesome to see. The wildcard that was shared as a thought for one of the people in Reddit is the idea that we'll get the Toon species elections happening once again. Now, the evidence for this is the fact that it was coming up to 10 years to when it was last done, and so it sort of makes sense to have another election again for all the Toons species that we missed out on, which included the goat, chicken, fox, parrot, chipmunk, and cow. Not to mention the fact that Joey did a voice over for what the cow might have sounded like on Toontown, and I honestly would love to see the elections happen, the cow get voted, just so we can hear Joey's moo all the time. If there were a Toon species election, which of those species would you vote for, or what species do you think should be included in it? Let me know in the comments. I'd love for us to have a discussion about all the different ideas of what Toon species could appear in a potential 2026 elections. Finally, my thoughts on Clear Coast this year. Toontown earlier this year announced that there wouldn't be an in real life Toonfest in 2026. The reason for this is to focus on all their current work so that the volunteers didn't have to also focus on the Toon Fest, but focus on all the developments that they have announced, plus the ones that are behind the scenes that we do not know about yet. Despite more time for its volunteers are put into this projects, I'm not convinced that we're going to see Clear Coast this year, and I am totally okay with that if it means that they're trying to make sure it is in the best quality it possibly can. There are a lot of things that come with Clear Coast. It's not just a playground, but the new task lines, the challenges, and other developments that will impact the rest of the game. And also they mentioned there's a lot of other big projects that they're working on, not just Clear Coast, so they're probably trying to balance it out as best as possible. My hope is that it will release in 2027, but I don't think it will come out this year. If it does, I'll be very excited for it, but I'm not too sure if it will, and I'm excited for the rest of the updates that they are going to release. However, I do think that there is going to be a roadmap that will be revealed this year to give a bit like how they did with field offices, so that we know what progress they've made and what the next steps are for its release. These are just some of my thoughts, but what do you think we'll see this year in Toontown Rewritten? And equally, is there anything that you agree or disagree with what I've said? Let me know in the comments. Let's have a discussion about it. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts. But for now, have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and I will see you all next time. Bye! I need to figure out how to drive out of here. Like this boat needs to just stop going in circles. How do I even get out of this? How did Donald get out?